Hey everybody, Steven here, and if you can't tell, I am seriously lacking RGB lighting with my PC rig here. There's just simply not enough. So we're going to remedy that today. We have the Phanteks Neon Combo Set RGB light strip right here. Obviously, I'm kidding, I have a lot of RGB lights with my PC, but I could always use a little bit more, and I really wanted to try these out just because they're different than the other ones I've used. So with this, we have the solid strip up top for the lighting here versus what you usually see is you'll actually see the light and they're spaced out. That's not to say that they're probably not spaced out in this, but it should illuminate as a bar versus, like I said, where you actually see that light illuminate in these different sections of this. I've used their other RGB light strips, which I really like. I'll make sure a link for both of these is actually in the description, but that one is on my NZXT H1 case. I have 3 in there. And I like the look, and the big draw for that one is the fact that it has magnets in it. So instead of needing to use 3M strips, although they do give them to you with the strips if you do need to use them, but if the case is metal, it'll just actually stick to it because of the magnets. So the 3M strips really for anybody that doesn't have a metal case, or maybe the frame isn't metal, or wherever you're trying to put it, you're going to need those. But I've always looked out where I've never had to use them, and just the magnets, I mean, they're powerful enough that they stick there, and if I pick up the case, if I move it, they're not going to fall. So I've always enjoyed those, but yeah, they're spaced out where this is the single bar. The other thing that this has, and I won't be using it, but I think it's a unique feature, is we get these different brackets with this. We also have the 3M strips if you need them, and we get a ton, and they're actually shaped to match whichever bracket you use with this. But the one I have on here right now, okay, so this one, you could actually put this and match it up so that it would line your motherboard. Now my motherboard already has lighting with it, so I'm not going to do that, but you could actually line your motherboard with this. So very, very cool. We have, so this one, we have curved ones, so if you end up needing to use this for kind of routing around anything, and then this right here, so this will hold this more vertical. That would be opposite. So with this one, it would end up holding this upright versus this one's not going to do that. Now my orientation, I won't even need these. They're there, I just won't need them. So I'm hoping to put this down here at the bottom, and it should just sit there. And with the NZXT 710i case here, I'm hoping this little bracket inside will actually hold this flush. And then the other one I want to put vertical right here. That's where I may need one of these, but we're going to see. And at that point, yes, I'd have to use the 3M kind of sticky tape here versus finding a screw or something like that, because I just won't be able to do that with this. But inside of this, we have not only the 2 strips here, we have the 3M tape, we have our different brackets, and then of course we end up with our RGB input. So this is the LED input here. You would actually run this off the motherboard. I'm curious to see if I have some openings for running this with just my extender here off of the RGB lighting that I already have, which is going through the NZXT, forgetting the name of the box, but it's essentially where you interface your air fans, which I have in here, through this. So the 710i has that built into it, so I don't have to worry about that. But going with this solid look, if you look at my 3080 here, solid bar, my air fans, solid, my RAM, solid. I do have one strip here from the case that's built into it where, yeah, it's spaced out, and then on the motherboard, but it kind of has that solid look, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to try this out. So we'll get the light here in the bottom and then right here, and I'll kind of round everything out. I think it's going to look really, really good. Curious to try these out and just to see how it looks as well with the coloring and all of that. In terms of what this can work with, it lists it on the bottom. So we have Mystic lighting, so I'll probably use that. We have Asus Aura Sync, RGB Fusion 2.0, ASRock Polychrome Sync, and then Razer Chroma. So this will work with a lot of the different apps that you use with whatever you're already running. So I'm using MSI. I mean, the motherboard is MSI, my GPU is MSI, so I'm already using that. So I'll probably obviously run that with this. But let's get this thing set up and then we'll look at it. I will make sure that B-roll shows up too, just showing what my case looks like, my setup looks like with its current RGB setup, and then once we actually have this all set up. And we'll cut back, I'll kind of talk about the process and then just generally talk about what I think about the look of this and some other things that maybe I ran into some problems or anything like that that I think people should know about. So let's go ahead and cut ahead. All right, so all set up here. Took way longer than I thought it was. It's actually been about a week and a half. Ran into some problems with this. The main one being that the two RGB headers, the 3 pins that I have on my motherboard, did not work at all with this. So tried some other things. I was going to try to plug it into the NZXT fan controller and really just the splitters off of that, but those are all 4-pin and this is 3-pin, so it didn't work. Then I tried getting some like 3 to 4 pins. Those just, I needed the opposite direction, so I bought the wrong one. So I ended up going with the Phanteks digital RGB controller here. So this has a SATA plug and then it goes to the controller, and then from there you actually have a remote. I'll make sure B-roll pops up for this. Has a magnet on the bottom that sticks to the bottom of the case here, and with that then you plug in the, and it's actually off of this cable right here, so this would be an extension right here, but comes with these little extensions that will actually plug into the controller. So with this, plugs into the end, this plugs into the controller. It has 3 slots for that, and so this worked out good. And off that controller I can then use that to actually change the lighting, and I'll make sure B-roll pops up for that as well, just cycling through the different options. Right now I just have it so it's cycling through the rainbow here, and it's not moving, it's just more just a solid bar with that, but I think it looks great. But yeah, different options. So that was how I had to go with this. The controller ended up being like $20–25, but not a huge deal just because I can plug other things into it down the road if I want to. But kind of sucks that I had to go that route because of the motherboard 3-pin headers not working. I was hopeful that that wasn't going to be the case and that it was going to be quick and smooth, but it just didn't work out like that. So I'm going to put a link for not only the neon lights here, but this as well, just in case anybody else has the same problems. I did end up using the brackets. So I have 2 on the vertical strip right here, and the 3M tape with that doesn't work great. It works okay, but it's just not heavy duty. I thought it was going to be a little bit more heavy duty. I think part of that's probably because they don't want it so that you're having to like yank this stuff off of your case when you're done with it. But I noticed these are somewhat heavy in the way that they bend. It was just popping those off quicker than I wanted them to. So had to reapply some tape. Worked out fine now, but it does feel like if you bump into it or anything like that, it's just going to pop off. Of course, you could actually get your own tape if you wanted to and not mess with that, but just something I wanted you guys to be aware of. So overall, I'm happy with the look. And let's turn this off for a second. So when it's a little bit darker in here, I mean, it just illuminates the whole front of the case now, and I think it looks great. So happy with the purchase for sure. Sad that I had to buy the Phanteks controller here, but then it gives me more options down the road if I need to use it. So an upside with this. I'm going to make sure that a link for these are in the description, as well as the RGB controller here, just in case you need to actually use that as well. But that's going to be it for this one. Let me know what you guys think of this in the comment section. Like I said, these will be in the description if you want to pick it up. If there's any questions, maybe something I didn't answer in this video, let me know in the comment section as well, and I will make sure that I get that answered for you. If you guys like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. Thanks so much for watching.